I'm not get husband. All this flower they come. You don't disrupt our property. Cassava, I'm a farm. As they go farm. All my property, you don't destroy. All my cassava, you don't destroy. With the frappe, when I frappe everything, you don't destroy.
When we went to Bios at the last flood, you will practically see people drowning. Like they are dying. There's nothing you can do because the wave is heavy. You know, so they need sensitization to before it gets to that point. See what happened in Libya. You follow the news. Right now, the death toll is over 8,000 dead people for flooding. One more. So it's a serious matter.
Yeah, so this is the one of our Heartbreak project. This is a documentary on 5 communities in Isoko North and Isoko South local government that have been ravaged by flood. Our aim is to highlight the issues that these communities face, and especially as regards their livelihood, their farmland. We want to be able to tell their story firsthand.
I know the flood has really been affecting, especially for the past 3 years, every year.
Seriously?
Yes. So I just want to hear from you how the experience has been.
Well, we are most grateful that NGO like you are coming to hear details of how we fared so far during the flood season, and we are also hearing from NAMES as we speak to you now. That so much water is still going to come.
Yes.
And the flood is with us already. And our experience last year was a very pathetic one. Pathetic in the sense that one, finding it difficult to even eat. You can't go to your farm. It was even where we stayed was ravaged with the flood arrangements. We packed our loads. We went to a refugee camp. They do set up a refugee camp sometime. In some areas, the people were submerged. They couldn't come to where the refugee camp is. And those camps, it's called a relief camp, I think, refugee camps.
Refugee camp.
We set in various primary schools here within the locality here.
IDP camp.
IDP camp, sorry. We call it IDP camp. Especially most of these IDP camps, you might not get the very best from them.
Of course. I mean,
it's a very pathetic story where you see the entire family being moved from one place to a new place entirely where you have no amenities. Sometimes even in the camp, there might be no toilet, there might be no good medical attention in the IDP camps. And most importantly, our farms have been affected seriously. As we speak to you now, some of our farms have been ravaged already. We'll get to show you some evidence. Maybe next time we leave here to the various farm camps, you see people uprooting premature cassava for the fear of the flood that is going to come. So that I believe I want you to really go to the grassroots and ask from the women to know how, even up to this moment, some of them are still in the farm uprooting cassava, ensuring that once the flood comes,
they don't lose everything.
The entire farm, not lose everything.
Most of the farmers in these communities are women. Women are usually being held by their children, and this community is filled with a lot of hardworking women who have been bearing the burden of preparing for the flood, harvesting cassava prematurely, processing them, and frying them as gari to store them up.
If you amena maro viguna overwa nini guna de yiwi hono. If you amena. So amena ma bano kuze. Ate wise maro viguna go riobe na bobi mara sabe yire de. If you ogara na amena buti. Yo zoni no kere wa be yetari na me bi kuze. Mi guna de wo mati bi vie ave boba.
So record
Joyero be na mare sa be ire. If ye ba no, maro vie, maro woli no tose. Na olerize ibu mo ima be sa be ire ejo bi gboku fie no na ejo na de dijo. Oberwari. Ejo de me ruru fie na let me go open the rubber for you.
Okay.
Na the same gari. Eyo vo na reti na na. Ba.
Is it recorded?
Yo zame na ma be de. Obi lo mai no be oze o e wazi no. Maro vigu na fi oto na. Oyibo na re no.
The experience is actually harrowing. From the pre-flood to the flood and the post-flood. It's a very harrowing experience. Now, most homes are submerged entirely, especially in the hinterlands. When water comes, people have to move. Those who manage to even harvest their crops, those that are harvesting crops now, if they don't remove them from those areas, if the flood still comes, it will also affect them. You see a whole house gone. Definitely there's nothing you hang anywhere that will survive it.
Safe.
Then we also have issue of thieves.
Yes.
That period, maybe the full community would have been, people would have left a full community out for survival. It is then you see these hoodlums, these thieves. They will go there, break into some houses, cut away a lot of properties. Outside the one the flood will also destroy.
You know what we say is natural, but we will cause it ourselves.
Yes, of course.
Because on the side of government, drainages that are supposed to be open so that water should flow, they are blocked. And that is the duty of government to open drains. They have nonchalant attitude not to open them. It's part of what is making some community to be flood prone. So it's a factor. Government should consider all those areas.
Yeah.
Last year, the community I stayed, Iri, they opened canals. That is the community owned self-help, not government. They opened the canals and the water began to flow. Like the town I came from, Ikwiti, they opened their own too. So if community are doing something wrong by themselves, then what is you government doing? It should do more than community. So they have failed in many ways. Then when you talk of the IDP camps, whereby they say move to social place, the feeding cannot sustain the people. Even because a party affair. You are not from party A.
Are you serious?
That's all that thing.
Wow.
You must belong to party A. How
These
can
issues are deep issues. They are serious issues.
whole LGA be one party? And the food provided by the government become to one particular party. It's a big problem.
That's political party.
Yes.
APC PDP.
So,
are you serious?
So if you go there and you
Jesus
identify as
Christ.
party C, A, B, or A, B, you will not get food. So all this kind of coloration should not be. Government should deliver service to the people without discrimination.
Selflessly.
So I know by what we are saying now, you should be able to carry it out
Yes.
to
yes,
government.
Yes.
Don't look people face. Look the suffering of the people. Stop looking the face.
So far so good. The government on its own side, they do come to the rescue sometimes, but they are not doing the whole mark of taking care. We are also dodging in the sometimes self-help within our neighborhood. We give what I have, I'll give to my friends. What my friend have, I'll give. Just that we exchange these ideas together. Food items, we exchange and provided we keep life going. So really, we don't want such experience this time. But what do? We are at the mercy of government, nothing more than that. And when the government is not coming, we look up to really as an NGO who can really come to our aid. in this locality, we'll be so grateful.
Our next stop was at the house of the community leader in Erie. He is like an administrative head. He's an elder, and he has a wealth of knowledge about the crisis in Erie. I spoke to him for over 30 minutes, and it was refreshing. He welcomed us, he listened to us, and then he also shared deeply his concerns and his experiences.
Well, my name is John.
Okay.
Ozareza Ewe.
Okay.
I'm the present President General of Erie.
Okay. Nice to meet you, sir.
Thank you.
So we've heard about the challenges in this community, and we're very interested to know what are the challenges, the flood issues. How bad is it?
The flood issue was terrible. People were homeless, properties destroyed, means of livelihood perished. So it was a hell. We went through hell.
It affected you personally?
Yeah, my personal, yeah. Look at my house. Look at the level of the sun. The level. I had to relocate for as long as the flood lasted. It was terrible.
So how does this happen? Do you have an idea of the source of this flood water?
No idea. What we had was just rumor the flood was. We never knew the extent of the flood until we started hearing that they opened a dam somewhere, and it was terrible. We thought it was just a normal flood, but before we know it, we have sleeping. Before we wake up, we just step on water.
So it happens that fast?
Just like fast. Overnight, everything was flooded, and it continued to rise. Even our major road here, we had to use canoe. As high as this place is, it was canoe. We were using canoe on the highway. So it was a terrible experience. Sure. Yeah. Some people in the riverine areas lost their lives. They lost everything. Now, talking about government, whether they've done enough. Well, I always say, yes and no. Okay. Yeah, because the awareness was not to the extent that we expected. They told us there was going to be a flood, but the extent was never predicted. And it came just as a flash, suddenly. You can just wake up and before you know it, water in your compound, water in your house. So if I was sleeping, before you know it, water just wake them off from their bed.
Wow.
So that extent, nobody can predict it.
You have been in this community. You have been in this community for how long, sir?
You see, I was born. I was born in here. Yeah.
Okay. This flood, has it been as bad as this before?
Never.
So this is just a recent development. It's a climate crisis.
The last flood I had, then I was a very young man. That was my father told me it was in 1969.
Wow.
That was when we had the last flood of this nature. But then it was still not as much
as this.
Yes.
So for the past 3-4 years, you have been having more frequent.
Yeah. I don't know what has really happened.
It's climate change.
It's climate change.
Climate change.
Normally we used to have
water level is rising.
Yeah. We used to have what you call Owologbo. That's big flood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This year we have Owologbo. This year we have big flood. That's what we should have. But again, not to the extent of coming to the town to destabilize everything.
How do you people recover? Because I know when this flood comes, people lose their livelihood. Yeah. How do you people recover?
How would I say? See, we Nigerians, we are resilient people. Our people, we are resilient, and I like my people for that. We can change to every situation. We adapt to every situation. Government promises some palliatives, but sometimes we don't see them, and when they come, they are so immaterial that you can hardly feel the impact. But because of the resilience of our people, the hard work, and the spirit of survival, to recover. That's what.
Thank you very much, sir. So we'll try our best to see you. I'll visit the farms and hear from the farmers directly because this project is directed towards the farmers.
Yeah, but in our system here, we have a seasonal farming.
Yes,
the way they predict the season.
Exactly.
There's some plantain, not plantain, cassava and yams. They call them ileliame, like the ones that follows water. So you plant them, as soon as the water is coming in, they harvest. They call that ileliame.
Okay, so they already have their own
that idea
adaptation
of how
strategy.
To follow the floods.
Yes.
But not the type of flood
we are seeing now.
now.
Okay.
That's just it. You see the flood. The climate change have really, if it is climate change, but I don't know if they are some man-made changes.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
it.
know,
That's it.
So what I think is maybe the government and its agencies should do more to enlighten our people. And when they say any palliatives, we should be able to have a way of monitoring these palliatives to be sure that it gets to those people who are really
vulnerable people.
Victims. Like in my case, they came here, they make enumeration of what I lost. Most houses here have a submerged, but today nothing was heard.
Till today.
Till today, nothing whatsoever was heard.
These are the issues.
Yeah. So if it is issue of bureaucracy, I don't know, but like you guys coming in as NGO, whatever.
Yes.
So whatever you can do to help to ameliorate this situation will be highly, highly appreciated.
Pre-flood, flood, and post-flood, beyond the flooding of the communities, there are little details that are really heartbreaking. And
the last experience, it was difficult for us to get feet.
okay.
But there was no road at all. Before you can cross, we do use boats. Then apart from that, the water got contaminated. So for us giving them water, we have to go and look for purified water. We have to look for sachet water that is purified. If you give them the contaminated water, we die. Well, I'm planning on raising this place now.
Okay.
In case there's flood, the water they will be up,
Okay.
and the water will not touch them.
Okay. That's your strategy to
Just
survive
to
the flood,
them,
to
yes,
lift
lift
this place.
them. Then the water too. We work on the water.
Work on the water. Okay.
Yes.
So the water is always contaminated.
Yes, and it kills them.
Okay. But
To work on like this place now, the place is properly raised, fenced, and the floor. You know when this place now is raised, let's say there is a filling now.
Yeah.
I fill this place, and the beds are raised up properly. Then after the flooding also, I can use disinfectant. I'll use it on the cage where they stay, because if you did not disinfect, it will affect them.
okay.
So after flooding, we also disinfect the place. So we need money to do all that.
Okay.
Buy feeds,
Okay.
disinfectant.
Okay. You need access to feeds.
Yeah, access to feed because it's so expensive now.
Yeah.
The road, there's no road for you to even access buying it.
Yeah.
It's not that easy to buy. For you to move from this place now, let's assume there is flood. Before you cross alone from this Iri to Ole, you pay like 500 naira. Some people will tell you 1,000 to cross to Ole. Going to Ugale again is another money.
Only yeah.
Ole, yeah, you can't be that flood period. People suffer. Before you get to Ozoro, not be small money. Because of the water now, you know the access for you to cross. Crossing alone, you cross, you enter bike, another crossing again, because when the water will first submerge this area, after a while, to now go to Ole and block the other road to Ozoro. The water will block there. It depends on how powerful. We don't know how this year will be. We don't know the experience. You know that last year. No.
And that's why I always talk about engaging communities. We need to engage communities because these guys understand the root of their problem. They understand it better than any of us. You can't claim to know, cause and effect is very important because at that point you understand deeply from the roots what these guys have faced. And this now takes us back to the whole climate change crisis because there are still a lot of people that don't understand that this climate change is real. And we asked, and I made sure that I asked, have you been experiencing this magnitude of flood? And everybody, all their elders, I mean, the president was born here practically in the 1960s. He said they have never experienced this magnitude of flooding that has happened for the last 4 years consecutively. Because of climate change, which is as a result of human activities, the weather pattern is changing faster. we don't have the time to prepare like before. Right now, we don't have the time to prepare because it happens in successions. It's very fast, right? Flooding happened last year. They're trying to recover, trying to gather themselves again. Nimasa has posted another, when we're coming to this community, we were hearing over the radio, move away from the community. Where are you telling them to move to?
We've not even said anything. If only because we're not actually there. Our experience may not actually be 100% accurate. Those that are living there, I wish you can get to the roots. In fact, you hear more things. You hear more things. Things we never talked about, we never even thought of that happened in those areas. People whose houses are damaged by the flood. Damaged flood. People that have fish farms.
Away from the water. Wow. Snake. In fact,
after the flood, snakes, another kind of reptiles. The Waterfish community.
Even my village self, from Ivory, come to my house like this, water. There, our fish farm, squab, farm more.
Fish farm. The fishes will go away.
So all our bed is tiny.
Millions of naira.
Yeah. Millions.
Oh, some people are even rearing fowl.
Because the last one.
On the last experience, my brother. Over 1,000.
I came with water.
I don't know the kind of food I really came with the water. You see, that has been the situation.
Yeah, okay. Let me put it in a simple mass language. Flooding started, last year, my attention was called when a number of communities in Oba and Egi, Aziz, experienced flooding. And many people were, couldn't stay in their community because the flood had taken over the community. That's Orashi water overflow it back and cover the entire communities. So that even made the communities able to begin to part away their face from their communities and then look for safer places to anchor. As a matter of fact, some schools and the public places were converted to IDP. And what I was there physically, we were entering the water because as a social worker, I don't need somebody to be telling me when I see danger. I go there myself to be part of what the people are feeling. We interacted with the commandant and with the people that were displaced. You see, what happened was that some of what the women and their children are more vulnerable. We have to identify that whenever flooding happens, the men can move because men are more adventurous. They can move out from place to place. But the people that could not move around like the men are the women and the children. And these children were left in the camp, in the IDP camp. And the food, health, and other basic needs were lacking. Water were lacking. So they depended on charities, vegetable organizations that are bringing one thing or the other to survive. A number of them came in rescue, the government, farmer, oil and gas, players like AG, like Total, LNG was there too. I went there under the umbrella of LNG, bringing the materials. Basic things were supplied to the people. And that took a number of months, more than 1 month, they were there until the water began to recede. And then the people begin to have relief. Because the water, they have to wait until the water completely left the community. And it will surprise you to see that on the major routes where motors supposed to be flying for boats, you could imagine boats using boats to move around the community. That it was as serious as that. The houses were submerged, properties were damaged, farmland were destroyed. Like a cassava plantation. In fact, even though they had planted, the plantation totally destroyed, cassava destroyed, source of livelihood were gone, and the people were left in penury. It was a pathetic situation. And then that called for intervention by spirited individuals and organizations. This year is coming again. Another preparation supposed to have been made ahead of time. We don't need to wait until flood come before we begin to run head-to-head. We should have a plan, what I can call restoration plan. Okay, when it happens, we talk of restoration. We have a preventive plan than restoration plan. What we are doing is a restoration after it happened. But what the best thing we could do is to have preventive plan ahead of time before the flood comes. We must have been able to map our strategy to mitigate against the flood. As it is now, we cannot stop it until we are able to have it from the source. Now, water dam has been released from Cameroon already, and whether we like it or not, it is coming again. So why do we wait until the flood comes before we begin to look for solution? We have to go beyond that, and that is the problem we faced last year. This year, it is quite imminent because it's already close to us.
When the flood came, the whole of this place was submerged. You understand? So let's go to where the farm is. You see.
A million.
Okay. It's not very large land.
Me, I can't think, say, if they put all this, but high barricades, like you surround this place with barricades of nets, all these strong nets.
Net we just started before. All the floor, everything call the erosion carry everything spoiled.
Oh.
Yes. Just resistance now. We call mood form of a pillar.
Okay, yeah.
Stand pillar for the four corners.
Strong
one, yes. Call use bandiru strong by the wire. See round up. We so like that. We feel
you go no matter the level of the floor, the fish no go free escape.
No. At least about 12 feet.
So that's adaptation, and that's what we're talking about. If stakeholders partner with those communities, because these people have been farming here, they understand the terrain, they know how the water goes, they know how the water comes, they understand it better. So if we sit down with those people and say, okay, look, what ideas do you have? They tell us our ideas. We look for a way to support them. As he said, you get those are the adaptive measures that they can use to survive the flooding. But without those measures, they lose money. I mean, imagine the stress of you go carry fish they go another.
Yes.
Look, and of course the process, a lot of the fish you go lose some of them.
Now back and forth the water they come. You go just like this. You don't come like this. You don't come like this. The next morning, just everything just come out.
A serious problem.
Lost many millions for this place.
Yes, now.
Many millions. Up till now, you never see stock them.
Yes.
Stock this
so up till now, you never recover.
No, stock this only these few ones. Up till now, never recover. Borrow.
So sometimes when they borrow money.
Lapo don't kill us.
When I never even recover from the last flood. If another one come again, you go bad. Though.
That's why no, go bad. So before that, we don't secure.
Okay, yes.
And before that, we don't secure. Put pillar, put better body wire, strong pillar. So you want just your call the water, just all the fish go in one place like this. Water they come down, we just see our fish. They never lost.
Yes. So it all boils down to money and support. These communities need support. I don't see them. Say if they get enough support, they don't need to lose. They don't need to lose so much. We can manage the losses. Better pillar, put them inside ground where maybe I don't know how I go do. Maybe cement or something. Cast them well. Put all these iron nets, strong one. Then overlay them with.
First, foundation first. We will pour a cast a rich like this. Exactly. Put the pillars there before we put the body wire. Randa, no way.
No way, not true. No matter how the water go, if you not come back, you go see meat on a fish.
Yes.
So.
I come on, I get your cement block, cement and granite. There's a 4 area. You peel in here. The body one will be here. Yeah, will be set, you know. The rest who are coming to Massa, people come to Massa, who business are or Matelus Viva. I was happy about come.
So when this flood comes, some animals to go they run come out.
Well.
So both plants and animal they at risk.
Yes,
Serious risk. Most affected is the habitat. The habitat have been worst affected.
The animal habitat.
Yes, animal habitat. The water will pursue them down from the river area to where they want to find solar. But when they will get here, they might not have a space until the entire habitat is wiped out of the world.
So it happens say sometimes when you come back from flood, they see dead animals.
Yeah, undoubtedly dead animals all over. And some, as we speak now, there was one we met now that was just running out, like rabbits, grass cutters, porcupine, all that. With those animals, we do lose. Sometimes we kill them, possible because we have to use them to feed at times.
Yeah. You get overnight, so you see for your motor, you kill them.
Are you serious? Because they try escape.
Yeah. Remember some fish who has escaped from the farm here. They went to our various houses. We killed them and we sell.
Voila.
That's worse as that. Fish go to individual houses sometimes when they don't have this place to go further. We lost to our various houses and kill them there. So,
okay. Fantastic.
Farm has been existing for a donkey years now. No assistance, no help from anywhere. We're funding it on our own. So we call on to help and do the needful. We will go further. There will be so much more.
So all we need is to just sit people down and say, okay, what do people need? How do we do this thing? And
we
that's
can have a forum like that.
Exactly.
People tell you people what we need and what we don't need. But by now, even the feed that we need here, with the price of the feed that is skyrocketed now, we need the bulk of them in one place. So that when the flood comes, we have enough to feed them. But once the flood comes, we can't go out of course. It will affect the livelihood of the fish too. Okay. So we need money to stock the fish and maybe buy temporary net for the now. Then later, if we can get the barricade we were planning for, all is well. We'll get there.
One, there must be a plan to evacuate the people to ID to come. The people have to leave their place of the place they are today. If we ask them, what are you going to leave? They say they don't know. Because one, where are they going to start from? Are they going to leave their sort of livelihood, leave their building, leave their land, leave their everything? Where are they going to start from? So the people need help. So if you look at it, you know that it's an issue that are overwhelmed them. So it's now like on the government to begin to think of what should be done for these people. But for now, we should be thinking after the flood, what next? How do we restore them back to where they were before the flood? Because that is what issue we can handle now. It's already late to begin to find to look for a complete solution. But we should be thinking of what to do to bring them back to where they were before the flood. And that is what I call post-flood restoration plan.
It was an interesting sight as we explored all the major fish farms in Erie local government, one of which was of interest to us is that owned by Mr. David. Mr. David passed through a very terrible ordeal last year, and we're trying to see how we can get to his farm. We can hear from him directly and see the scope of the impact last year and also his preparatory activities.
Yes.
Okay.
My name is David Omoye.
Okay.
I come from this community,
Erie community.
Yes. This place is not reservoir.
Okay.
When I come to Canada.
Oh, okay.
And na solar they use.
Na solar?
Yes.
My
pond,
see the solar panels.
Yes.
So it's
yes.
You see them, you capture them.
Na solar they
Climate
use.
smart people. Wow.
It's a big time.
Yeah, so I dey see them. Okay.
This farm I think I use. It affected me a lot, and I lost well because 2012 it not reach here like that. That's why I packed come from inside and come here.
Okay.
But this one, I don't expect it like that. I have loaned money, like last year, I loaned 10 million when a bank, Union Bank loaned to me. We think the flood will not reach here. Before we know, it took everything away. So it was a disaster to me that period.
Yes, okay.
This place is hash room. If you enter, I will use the finger leaves. I will sell the finger leaves to pay the loan back, small. And I thank my people too because they understand me. They see what happens, they understand. So, to drag me as they're supposed to drag me, they're not drag me like that. But I see, coming months, I will pay finish. Because I have paid almost 70% of the money.
Wow. Even with your loss. So every profit where they make, they go to pay debt.
Yes, I pay finish. Because I know that I will still give you another one once I pay finish.
Okay.
I will start it well.
How you they take, now when the flood come, how you they take assess your fishes?
That time I knock how do you call it?
Okay, bridge.
Yes, I knock bridge inside.
Okay.
My guys, they say they go there. But now, if I say I should knock a bridge from here to that side, everybody must like to go there.
Yes.
And your things, as fish, you're not supposed to show to another person like that. But now, as what I do, so for you to go there with your
yeah, you know,
you go there your body what kind.
Yes.
So now so it be. Or if not, I for don't knock a bridge enter. But if I won't go there, I will enter the water, go there, come back again.
So if government sits you down, come tell you, say, okay, tell us how can you, what can we do for you? What we go fit do for you? We go practically now. You go there. They'll tell make you explain now. If flood come, how you go take protect? Okay, so wait now. If flood come, how will they affect your fishes? How you they lose them?
Last year, I wish I could prepare.
Okay.
I have not lost my things, but I have a doubt in my mind, say 2012 not reach here, so this one will not reach here.
Okay.
So before I started to prepare, the water
don't come.
Don't come, and then at speed, the thing they come. If you mash here just now, remove your leg before you block this place, you don't pass on. So now if and they still tell us say the flood is coming back.
Yes.
So
they don't announce them.
So now, if I get like nets, they not be saying a tiny one, nets, strong one, I'll fit protect the fish.
So if you get equipment, nets,
yes, and the shovel,
you go fit preserve.
Yes, I've preserved.
Now just describe how you go. If you get money or if money come, how you go fit adapt.
If money day, because I know say if you know say everything the first root of this farm is money. If money day, I can do better because I know say last year don't pass. I not go doubt again because I have seen it here.
Yes.
If floods come and I get the equipment from my hand, I can do better.
How you go protect your fish now? You go erect? How
no,
you go do
I wish we'll fish there now for the good way. But I will dig the ground, put out a bearing net for ground and raise it.
Okay.
I will use a strong stick till they hold the net round. Like 2 pounds when I feel because I have 14 pounds there.
14 pounds.
Yes, but the 2 pounds when I hold with that net, so none of fish figure. So and the net is they cost well that time because a yard is 1,000, and I have spent all the money that I borrowed on it. So to get another one now, it's hard for me. So that's why. But I know say if I get the equipment, as the talk say the thing is coming, I will start the work now before the thing will reach here. I don't block everywhere. This water, we never experienced her like this any day. Because in 2012 now, small, you take the rise up. But this one, before you know, nourish like this. Before you know like this, before 3 hours, So I say good.
One thing about this community is the people. They are warm, they're receptive, and they are tired. You know, you can see the tiredness. Somebody was telling me we are barely recovering from last year's flood, and we're already preparing for another flood. We've always been talking about proactivity in development. You know, it saves time, it makes things easier. When you are proactive as a government, it makes things easier. But we just have this reactive approach. It's a learning experience for me, because one thing about livelihood analysis is that when you involve the locals, and you know, these people understand their land, they understand the soil. They might not be as educated as we are, they might not know the names, they might not know the scientific terms, but they understand it, right? Technology to them is knowledge, you know, and their knowledge is fueled by experience, which now gives them wisdom, so they understand it.
Jonah was being a guy, full truck of pickup with fowls. Well done that. Hey, they beg you to buy. If my father did your hand, give me 1,000. So they the man is crying. When they buy, they happy. They go say, "You buy fowl for 500." Yeah, my brother. He's your. Oh, you. That's a video, man. You did that, Reno. For we did what did the comment. I know my way one, I know, and very good. So, but majorly, he said those who have good cassava, also very well. Only on Tuesday and Tuesday, why am I vegan? No, apart from that. That's why I'm talking to my wife.
Like you, as you came, you see most of the women, the community people, coming up with cassava. Yes. Those cassava you are seeing, most of them are like this. Yes. If not because of the flood, when they get matured, we see them like this. So because of the flood, the rumors of the flood that is going to come, is making them to conclude them prematurely. You see, and most of the fishing ponds in the plain, people even have poultries. But people that are taking care of those things, because of the flood now, they are not able to do those things again. So we want the state government, even as you say, you are non-governmental organization, to please come to our aids to help the community. We, the community, the Indian community. Now, you can see, as I'm talking to you now, I can see most of the people coming out from the farm. Leave this place to another place, the people will tell you their stories of the hardship they face before now. Like my place in my house, when you are coming from Osoro, me and my family were about 9 in the house. We parked from that place because the water in my place reached middle level. There's no way you can live in that house. Like my uncle living residing at the end of the community, the water covered the whole building. You see, even to feed becomes a problem. You see, and if not because of this primary school, it is only that place. Most of us settled there. Even like from here to Osoro, yes, you cannot find your way out because most of the place, the roads, the one you pass to this very place, will be covered by water. Yes, and from here to how do you call it, Oyode, down to Old Bay, it is boats. There was a chief at Uriye that gave us this volunteer, give us a speedboat to rescue people. You see, to feed, you know, we don't have as we enter the community, there's no economists in this very place. And we went to Osoro to buy food stuff, but because of the flood, you cannot go down there. You see, so it becomes a problem to the community. So we want, as we have been hearing this rumor, we want the federal government and the state government to please do something before
Before the
flood.
You see what my colleagues have already said. As we are talking now, our family, our wife, Nana is the bush, harvesting cassava, mature cassava because of the fraud. If you look at the story, you see the stuff that the garri they are making, but they are not in the bush. Cassava the cassava because of the fraud.
Yijo, abeta mi o.
Ami no pe arugbenugbo na. Ari ki be yan se na.
Amena. Akado tulo kuse. Ana o amena ku gbenugbo na. E ba no nye bo maite. Ela be nye bo maite.
Well, mo
Adile better na.
Nye bo mai kaka.
Okay.
Nye bo mai kaka gbenugbo. Etina na manya ni magasari ore ko isokana masata me ite no fi waka onana ame ya mi afọ sate anya me tete tinne na me ba ko magaka no ka ba de ro gbe na wade no se
Vamos orar hoje era soca.
A mi avó, e foi para botar com isso, né? Que tá mais escuro, avó.
From here, from that yellow house, come down. 10 people for one room, 15 people for one room, 20 for one room. So the day was in a mess with that the flood. He suffered the way. That's why you see everywhere. He affect to other communities like that. From this Isoko South here to Isoko North to Isoko South, Fagbe, all of them, no one. Water took all of them out. People were suffering pain. But this year now, so the only thing they can do now, just to harvest their crops. Apart from that, if you come on the same, because the land not high as it did. So that's the problem we are having. So if the government can come to the aid, well, they have to start everybody. Look February like this. Boy. This is how many months? From January to
Everywhere.
This guy they find you so. I say they okay.
Now wow, so now loss be this.
And they see the bush, they carry the come. No like that person don't carry like they come. Even 2 weeks you know if you finish it. Well, even at all now. You know say when you buy cow, you won't escape finish. And you know say no fit catch her. If you get cutlass, you cut the teeth. Say well you touch me small. And I be this one and I tell the record. You may a cow don't they escape.
So if the flood come now, how na go even preserve the one way?
No, when they fry them, and they go fry them dry. Okay. Then they don't go filter them when they don't fry them. They go stock them in bag. The bag now they go put another waterproof inside when go make them dey warm as normal. They go tie them. They go elevate. They go carry bench big. Some people they knock bench, a bench like this table, high like this. The water dey here now. They go knock the people, so they go stock them. Then they go pack from the house. The humans go pack away. So gradually, if they see where they carry come with canoe, they go up to check the garri whether as to do pass or so. They monitor their goods to say what I want to subside.
Professionals, when they're going back, they don't even know where to start. They don't have the place because the flood out actually destroyed their homes. A lot of innovation have to be taken for the way the money is not there. They'll be thinking of raising money to renovate their home before they flip to partner, raising money to start the agricultural work afresh, and they are going to be able to wait for upward of 4 months before the crop what they sow begin to listen. But what will they be eating before that thing? So quick means the palliative they received during the flood and after the flood, palliative stuff. And the 4 months of sowing and the reaping, the people are on their own because no palliative can continue. So when stakeholders think they have been able to solve the problem, that they have been able to handle them while in the adequate camp, who handled them from the point of sowing afresh to this time of harvest, and then there's no food stock, nothing yet.
So this is a real community.
Yeah, this is real. They don't like over there.
It's obvious that what those people need is to see international community, stakeholders on ground, and then give them the hope that, man, we are with you. We are with you. We know that it's hard. We know that it's tough, but we are here with you. And a lot of Nigerian communities, a lot of African communities, that's all the assurance they need. You see how happy they are when they see strangers. In fact, I just came with my camera and my people. Just camera, and they were happy. They were willing to tell their stories. You see the excitement that finally somebody is ready to hear us. Somebody is ready to listen to us, to see our plight. And you see old women, small children out of school. In fact, the educational system is even set back. We have to now work with the Ministry of Education to create another, curriculum that will help them.
Oh, I mean, I know they are pushing. I be hard dry. I be no be hard ho. I mean, what be hard dry. Better I mean no, better I mean no, masaja. What you go for my unye na gara government. Sona. Gamena maja let na bi fi guno na de mabele you like kufiana.
This thing never mature.
No.
Now because of flood,
gone are the days where you just go into a community and just begin to do stuff. Right? You need to understand what is relevant to those people. If it's feeding for this number of time, how long do they need to be fed? What is the after they have recovered? Do we have a plan for building sustainable cities? Do we have a plan, a system put in place where they can recover? Because the main thing is the recovery. So if these community people feel understand within them get, everybody cooperate together, you get as we go run this matter. You understand? If you go meet the chiefs and they tell us their own ideas, you go government's house, go present them as documents. Now so development they start. You understand? Now the first line of action, now that communication need to be. The bridge, the gap between we, community people, state government and stakeholders has to be closed, because most times people don't really even understand within the issues. So we interviewed widows from 5 different communities to hear their encounters and their experiences, and this moment was quite emotional for me because I could feel their pain and I could feel their frustration.
Ware mera nyase ni no wa fi boko mu kene na amena o wa no biru jesi akomi oro are nene makwa ode makwa dede ko makwa ekwekwa bo ma be kwa nu oru iwo ye school ma be dress jo ma be ria na mi lo che we fe wuno emu ma ro ria ugo ma ro ro do ware o ma be de ma be we de che to ke na mi lo che ku mi no ma be te me na ma re oro va e ve wona e vo bavia so banana ware fi obo komi tu go te more ware ro fi obo komi o ran ware ro flower ro komi ma sara gegere na de ma pasa anya
Okay.
flower ran ware ro komi re ma sara we dere aro te wo mi na gberia san ni ro do ware dede kemi no ware o do re po mi mu e fo ya mo che ala we dere de
They manage last year.
Because Binubo. I mean, I just Bono J.
Yes.
Ever was it? Yeah.
Organ no biso maina. Yi ora gbe dere lo am. Uro gbagun ete na
See, cassava step now by the by. After everything, now by the cassava step.
emegwona amtihana yes geri nana ona besi lete already
ogare mu na ugo
water tem gbogbo o patikete na lete baba lete aleze ko we 4 times ona di
After the flood.
money receive
So you start from morning till evening.
Seafood.
To eat.
Oja no gas.
Because people
if you carry food call plenty this goes gather the eat
To see yourself, no problem.
to see yourself na problem
that hospital now you make yourself people
Awuje mo vo.
And you dey-
Awuje mo. People will sick. Anyway.
The thing what we need is my husband
The widow.
widow. I not get husband. All this flower they come. You don't destroy our property. Cassava, I'm a farm. As they go farm. All my property, you don't destroy. All my cassava, you don't destroy. With the frate, when I frate everything, you don't destroy. Now I call say I go come back government if they help us. If anytime. Because my children, they know they fit go school now because no money. Everything costs. To see money itself on a problem. Now we come say I go beg government make it help us. Now it make us come. Well, now we pack go school. That school that place where we go. Now wahala to eat itself they don't see food to eat. People many. Now fight. To sleep itself na a problem. So now it make us come say make we go beg government make it help us for this time. Our own don't finish.
I think in the face of every form of oppression, every form of issue, every form of disaster, including war, climate issues, women and girls are always most affected, right? In our part of the world, you don't see a lot of women owning properties, owning lands. So in most cases, when we have issues of flood, drought and the likes, you see that the crops are the things that are destroyed. The plants, the crops, the means of livelihood, the farmhouses where these women and their children live in are mostly affected. In some of the riverine areas that my team and I work with, which is a community that I personally grew up in, we saw that during the flood in 2022, that so many children were out of school. We had like a lot of kids out of school. Some of them were out of school because their school spaces. The school spaces were used as shelter spaces and converted to IDP camps for displaced persons. And some of them, their kids, the schools were submerged by the water rise. And crazy enough, in all of these things, we had like 17 kids who never returned to school, and 12 children out of these 17 who never returned were girls. Some of them never returned because of the issues of abuse, right? Some of them got pregnant during the period. Some of them, their families had to relocate. Some of them, their parents lost their means of livelihood. But whatever the case may be, out of 17, 12 were girls, right?
This issue of flood, it has really affected, because in those times of flood, we discovered that pupils will not go to school. And some of them, the reason is because they are being displaced by the flood. Some of them, they will be helping their parents to rescue their property. Some of them will start going to farm to rescue their farm products and all of that. At the end of the day, they will no longer go to school. Like the school I am right now, they use it for IDP camp.
Okay, which school is that?
Z Primary School. Okay. So because they use it for IDP camp, people cannot go to school. And because of the people that normally stay there, at the end of the day, discover that they will destroy some of the school infrastructures, like the desks. So many things will just go out of place like that. So it's really affecting students a lot. Like, it's really, really affecting them a lot.
Yeah, it is a big question to be answered at this point. Because if you ask me, how do you find a lasting solution? Why I say it's a very difficult question to ask is that, are the people ready to vacate their community entirely? Because that's the solution now. Until government intervene and handle it from the source. And the source is the flow of water from the Orashi to the community. So until that source has been handled, it will always become a plan to supply them food after they explore. Because one, they cannot leave their source of livelihood. Where are they going to go? They will tell you, no, I don't know how you're going to. And how many people are you going to evacuate? A whole beyond more than one community. We are talking about 30 or 40 or more than that, a community that is affected. Where are you going to keep them? ID camp cannot take them forever. ID camp is a temporary relief. And you cannot ask the people of almost one local government to leave a whole local government to another local government that you're not planned.
We want to start up a movement that every young person that has come out of school, every elite, every environmentalist, everybody that is passionate about social work, in spite of the fact that we are not supported enough, but we can start a conversation around involving our youth corpus, involving our community people in rescuing the community. Because if there's any strength we have, is human capital.
I had an opportunity to listen to discussion like this. So let me say it's giving me the opportunity to speak on behalf of my PPA.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe you know the place, EP there.
Okay, yeah.
EP there, IKPI,
yes.
You got to
IKPI,
realize, yes, that side is this river side. You got to realize that River Niger is flowing through the town. So as at the last occurrence of flood that took place last year, I was not opportune to be there, as only for the ex-copper that gave us some one or two things. It was so devastating.
I need the videos, yeah.
I've been very glad to give you the critical need of it.
Yes, critical.
So, with the look of things on behalf of them, speaking on behalf of them, I can only talk about how we can try as really possible to prefer practical solutions.
Yes.
Before the flood takes place. So I don't know if there can be provision for what's it called, speedboats, and some other things like that. I mean, as my colleague has also said.
Like in Nigeria, we've witnessed repeated flood, but there's no provision to prevent further flood from coming. Thank God, most communities, because when I came, I'm in batch B1, B2, to be telling me flood is coming, flood is coming. This sensitization is good, and I think we need more sensitization, even to the grassroots. So that people are aware of what is happening, why it is happening. Then the preparatory measures for evacuation from those places, people should be able to prepare their mind, and other measures put on plan for evacuation, immediate evacuation, because once we delay, we are going to lose life. So people should have it in mind, prepare their minds to evacuate such places. And the place of government, we've talked about IDPs. Government should have IDPs ready on ground before the flood comes. So there should be a place they should, mark out for IDPs. Then the condition of IDPs, by now it should be improved. Not the previous IDPs that you go, that everybody's jam-packed in one place. There's no measures put in place in terms of hygiene, in terms of feeding, medical care, and all of that. IDPs should be better off these days than what it was before, because we have more knowledge of what is happening. Flood is not a new occurrence in Nigeria again. Thank you.
That's powerful. Sir, you want to say something?
If the people can find a way to help themselves, first of all, by stocking up seeds, there are different crops that they need for planting, their seedlings, probably away from the community. Some persons have started doing that already in their area. So they have been frying gari up and down, stock up bags of gari that can last them for an instance of time. And then the people that stay in the community, some persons have already found a way to survive in this flood. For example, there's a man, that is the Odion, that's the prime minister of the land. We met with him and we spoke with him. He said for him, he doesn't run away. He stays there. There's a way he hangs himself and stays on top of the place. And they do in that Aviaratu, it's not everywhere that is flooded in Aviaratu.
Because the damages being caused like this is something else. It's not what we can write home about. So as we continue to progress, what you actually want from us is kind of solutions to the problem, which I said creating awareness to the communities, which from now, as you have already inspired us, most of us will start doing the same work we are doing, talking to the people. We have limited time here already, but we will do our best to make things work out well.
We still have time to plan. This internally displaced people's camp, we can set it up now, be prepared, because you said that some people, the women that came here, they were like standing, waiting for food, and peradventure they might not get food that day. They might even see a plate of food to eat that day if they are lucky. So I would prefer that we should open an internally displaced people's camp, be preparing it down before the time, so everything will be stocked down in case the flood hits hard.
We need to be involved in providing relief for these communities during the flood that is coming. I know that a lot of you will run away, but I'm here to advise you not to run away. I'm saying it because you will see, when we went to Bayelsa the last flood, you will practically see people drowning. Like, they are dying. There's nothing you can do because the wave is heavy. So they need sensitization to, before it gets to that point, manpower, because a lot of people will believe, like we're religious. Don't worry, go calm down, but it's not coming down. Cameroon Dam has been opened right now, coupled with climate change. There's water under the ground. In fact, this coastal area, we're in a ticking time. I was telling people that these communities, the prediction from my research, 5 years, bros, now water is going to be bad. See what happened in Libya. If you follow the news right now, the death toll is over 8,000 dead people for flooding. So it's a serious matter.
And this is why we talk about loss and damage, because you can see the vegetation of this place. You see that these people are not contributors to climate change. They have enough trees. They have enough plants. I mean, these are cassava plants, and when the climate issue starts, of course, you've already seen that they begin to uproot prematurely their cassavas, and sometimes they don't even have access to seedlings. They don't have, because they can't protect it. A lot of these things are destroyed. They are the worst hits with the climate crisis, even if they are the least contributors of this climate problem. And that's where we call on stakeholders, international communities, people that look at the vast land, look at the topography, look at the vegetation, look at the trees, the green walls, and you can see that these people are doing their best, as much as they're doing their best to protect their biodiversity. Look at how their houses are spread. Every house is built around the trees. They don't cut down trees unnecessarily. Their predominant occupation in this Isoko South region is farming, and they have been consistently doing this for years, generation after generation, providing food that we eat in the urban area. Their fishes, the cassava, gari, which is a staple food in this country. But when the flood comes, everything is destroyed, and we need to take action now. We need to fight for loss and damage. We need to make sure that every farmer will receive a compensation for what they have lost, the damages that we sit down with these farmers, we do comprehensive needs assessments, and then we go back to our drawing board. Also with the farmers, we create a climate smart model that will help to improve their flood resilience and reduce their vulnerability. This is the only way it can work. Every community engagement must be driven by the community members themselves. They have a sense, because they have a sense of ownership. They want to protect their land, they want to protect their resources, they want to. So for monitoring and evaluation, these guys are on ground to make sure that the process is completed, is initiated properly and is completed, and then you can also create. And why I'm very interested in Mr. Davis' farm is because it's climate smart. You can always replicate this model in other places and then create more of this model, so that when they come back from the flooding and they're trying to count their losses, they'll still have food to eat. There'll still be fishes, their business is still running, the damage is little. This is how you create flood resilience, and this is how you help communities adapt. The climate change is real, climate change is here, the flood is coming, there have been prediction that the flood is coming, so they know, they're preparing for it. So what we're doing is to call on international communities to see how we can help these communities adapt to the effects of flooding, or adapt when the flooding comes.
And then after the flood, you now begin to help them in recovery. And that's how you create sustainable change in these communities. If not, we'll just be telling stories, and we'll continue telling stories. And people will be dying, and I'll be telling stories. I don't want to be a storyteller. I want to be a change maker. Myself and my team at LINC Green. Till we see again, I am Diolo Tobecheko Prosper, representing LINC Green Initiative, and I am a climate justice advocate.
Do